Discussion. Our first discussion of the evening, the discussion regarding aids and volunteers to the city as a result of Hurricane Harvey, requested by Councilmember Doucet. Councilmember Doucet.
Yes. When it comes to reimbursements, do we get any reimbursements from FEMA based on aid?
Volunteer hours.
How much?
Volunteer hours.
Volunteer hours.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, I know we do that. Now my next question is, how are we monitoring that?
If I could answer that. I don't know if
anyone
city
there.
Manager. City manager, did you had your light on?
Yes, I was going to ask Monique to come to the podium.
Okay, yeah, if you would. And while she's on the way up, Councilman Doucet, I know we had a few, say, Operation Blessing. I know they're here. We've asked a few of the nonprofits to collect their hours so we could submit those to FEMA. Ms. Monique?
We did, Mayor, have a request out to Operation Blessing to come and discuss the managing of the volunteers, but they were unable to attend.
Okay.
I know that we have, I'm sorry, good evening. We have been tracking that. This has been assigned to Adam Saunders, and he's not here at this moment.
We've been tracking it?
Yes, on the volunteer hours, yes.
Okay. The reason I'm asking that question, I know that we have groups that still wants to come in
Okay.
and volunteer. Some of these groups, like one from upstate, talking like 41 people coming down for a period of time in which to do work, like fixing homes and stuff like that. And they don't have a place to sleep, or they're looking for a place to sleep. So my question is, if we have people that's coming from other states volunteering to help citizens in this recovery, and the fact that we get reimbursed for so many volunteer hours, why haven't we worked on finding places and designating a place that when people come we could put them up, you know, and not only that, but maybe provide one evening meal, a hot meal or something. It's not like we're not benefiting. We're benefiting on two ends. The one, we're benefiting because other people are coming in here and helping our people get back on their feet. But then we benefiting because we gonna get money given to us because they come in and help us. So what I'm interested in this city taking a responsibility that when someone comes in here, we're doing something for them.
Yes. Some of the volunteers, we have worked with the hotels to provide housing for them. We also provided housing at some of the local churches as well as food and beverages as well.
And we're paying for the rooms?
From my understanding, I'll have to get back with you on that, how that...
Okay, that's how come I brought this up for discussion today. Don't need to get back. We need to get a process, Mayor, that someone on this staff is going to be involved with this to the point that we help people who come to this city to help our citizens. And if they need a place to stay, that's the least this city can do. And if we got to feed them one meal a day, that's the least we could do. We're getting money from it. So we want to get on top of this. Operation Blessing is a blessing to the city of Port Arthur. Operation Blessing is a blessing to the citizens, to the city. But it's not Operation Blessing's responsibility. It's ours. And we're going to take the lead, and we're going to make sure that the people from Operation Blessing gets what they need when people are coming down.
Okay.
And we need to be able to refer people to them. And when they say, okay, I got 40 people coming down, we need a place to stay. That's what we need to start looking at right now. what
Okay.
we're going to do for people come to volunteer for this city.
We'll do that.
Yes, and let me know what we're doing, how we're going to do this before next meeting, because people want to come down now. And I'm surprised that we don't have a place to say this day, right now, 40 people coming down, oh, we can't put you up over here, because that's something we should have established during the disaster.
Okay.
And that is something that should have stayed in place as long as people coming into this city. We should never, it's never stopping it.
Okay. Well, we'll get that.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilman Doucet, I appreciate those comments, and I would have to agree with you on that. One thing that for sure, that place that we've been utilizing, a lot of our buildings went down and got flooded, of course, but one group that's coming in and we found housing and some food for is Howard University. Howard University is doing a team of kids, and they're doing one of those instead of going on spring break and partying, they're coming to help our community. And Christine, through the council's office, we were able to get the Amos Evans building, and we're also working with local partners through that spring break. They'll be staying there, and they'll be getting fed 3 meals a day. So we have that one, but we have other facilities too also that needs to work with it. And then if I could add to it, last week we put they're fixing our bylaws now, but we put a community recovery team together. I would like to see for us to have a point person here at the City of Port Arthur as an employee that oversaw that group also, that they worked with all the nonprofits, all the donations, because we have people donating $15,000, $10,000 to the city. We just need folks we need to put our arms around all the volunteer donations, all the volunteer hours, everything that's happened in the city, so we know have one direct person to deal with. Councilman?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about. If we're there, we just need to speed it up, Mayor. If there's funding that needs to be made available, then it needs to come before this council and bring it to us. We're going to do what we have to do to ensure that citizens receiving help and people who come into this city, we want them to feel appreciated and not allowed to come work and everything at their expense. You know, maybe set up something whereby we have transportation, whereby take them out to movies or something. But we need to understand that this part of the recovery is going to be full steam ahead as long as people want to come here and give their time to work and get our citizens back in their home. We owe them something. And this council is prepared to do what we need to do in order to make that happen. So you need to ensure that who's ever working this, work this, and what they need to bring before the council so that we could get an opportunity to provide resources that are necessary to get this accomplished.
I agree. Thank you for those comments. Councilman Scott?
Yes, Mayor, I'm pretty much agreeable with what's been said, but just like the Howard thing, we need to be informed.
Yeah.
Council needs to be informed on it. I had no idea that it even exists.
Yeah.
So if we put somebody at point to, let the council know what's going on and how things are working, that'll be a good thing, because I had no idea that occurred. So
We're still looking for people to feed them on certain nights, so that's why we hang out. If you want to volunteer, we'll go ahead and cook something.
Well, you know what, Mayor?
Would you?
If I didn't cook it, I can get somebody to cook it.
There you go. That's
okay,
what I'm
but I
talking
have to
about.
be informed.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay, and that's what I'm talking about. I didn't know about it.
All right.
All
Well,
right.
once we get to finalize, we're going to go ahead and announce it, and
Okay.
we'll get our
Well,
pinpoints.
That's
Definitely
what I'm
get the
saying.
info to you.
All right, inform me.
Councilman Kinlaw.
Thank you, Mayor. So for clarity, Adam Saunders is the point person. Am I understanding correctly?
Yeah.
So it needs to filter to him, and he provides that information to this council.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But again, I think it's something that I want to start our appointees that we have for our disaster recovery board to be involved in that also. You know, they're going to be a definitely extension of this council. Councilman Lewis.
I think things pretty much been covered. If anybody got any free any free,
Plywood?
not plywood,
Sheetrock?
sheetrock. I got some folks that need some sheetrock bad.
That's it. Well, you know, honestly, here's something that, and if I can speak to it, I met with Rebuild Texas folks today. They're with the Dell Foundation. They have $100 million they're trying to spend. And, you know, obviously when you're trying to fix someone's home, you put $60,000 in, you're only going to get like one house, maybe, as far as making your dollar stretch. Something that I suggested to him, if we could put some type of number on how many sheets of sheetrock in the city of Port Arthur, and just for a working term, saying we're about to raise 1 million sheets of sheetrock, and all the nonprofits that we have here coming through the city of Port Arthur can pull from that sheetrock and help rebuild different homes around the city. And I think it'd be an effective way, if it's 2x4s or 1 trillion nails, whatever it is we come up with, and to help nonprofits stretch their dollar a little further. So I appreciate you mentioning that about the sheetrock. So yes, sir, there is something in the works, possibly with Rebuild Texas.
One of the things I've been running into is that, and along with the lack of flood insurance, people not getting enough money to restore their homes or elevate them, so they are selling their home as is.
As is, yes, sir.
And unfortunately, and we don't know if they're staying here or moving out. We don't know what's going on. And I've been getting bombarded by the money that the governor of Texas was supposed to, that grant money. They want to know what that money is for, and how can they qualify to get some of that money. So what that money is earmarked for.
You're saying the Rebuild Texas funds?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
They were showing it out. They had a big check for X amount of millions of dollars, and they want to know where it's at, what it takes to qualify.
The $10 million that we got was an upfront payment. It was 40% of what it was going to cost for us to get the debris out of here. They estimated it to be about $25 million. They could give us an upfront payment of 40%. So that was what the $10 million went for. But the $100 million that Rebuild Texas has, they're doing it through nonprofits. The Dell Foundation, with the governor, if they go to rebuildtexas.org, they'll be able to find out what qualifications and caveats that you qualify for to draw those funds down.
Yeah, well, it's important when we discuss things, grants or whatever's coming in, possibly help. We got to have some clarity on what that was for. Had that been explained up front, this $10 million is for debris removal, I wouldn't have got bombarded with all these phone calls. See, they don't understand. It's important. It's not enough just to say, well, the governor is giving a grant to the city of Port Arthur. It's important that we lay it all out so the citizens won't get false hope.
Okay. I appreciate that. City Attorney, do you have?
I was just going to say,